Good evening, this is Cab, here to drive you crazy. And today's video is going to be a special video in honor of We Skeem, a personal favorite YouTuber of mine, artist, gamer, entertainer as far as I am concerned, and celebrating the drop of his brand new album, Once Upon a Loser. So without further ado, I'm just going to play a few of the songs in the background while reviewing it. So first song you will be hearing in the background is Hit Me. He actually does have a music video out on this one right now, and it's a very good music video as far as I'm concerned, and I actually think that it's probably one of the more popular songs that he's going to have on this album. First song on the album, and it sticks out quite a bit. You know, it talks about things that I care about: poker. It actually has a few references to golf, but the whole purpose about this song is basically talking about the fact that it's actually about, you know, getting hit when it's a whole story in this entire album. So you'll pick up on that more and more throughout the entire album, and you'll be able to hear his story as he progresses, as well as when he was going up as a kid all the way until pretty much where he is at the moment. So first song, Hit Me. I give this one a big 10 out of 10. Great song. Always want to play it. Always want to listen to it. It's great. It's great. Next song, Sports Zing. This one actually is one of my personal favorites as well, simply because it talks about sports. He reflects on himself as a runner when he was younger, and also makes a lot of funny references. Especially one of my favorite references reflects back to the Mark Sanchez butt fumble, and you'll pick up on a few things about him when he was, in sports, can't deal with coaching. He was never really one of the popular kids, didn't want to act like he was something bigger than he was, but at the exact same time knowing exactly who he was while he was doing the sports that he cared about, and of course always having an appreciation for other sports as well. The next song, Insanity. This one is a very simple song and the shortest song on the album, but it does reflect back to a lot of the stuff that he was mentioning from other previous albums, including like Normal as one of his more very popular songs from his very first album, and a few other songs that you would hear from previous albums that reflects back on, the sense of where his mindset was growing up, how it became because of certain family members treating him a certain way, and how he was able to overcome all of it himself. So Insanity, to me, and apologies, Sports Scene, I give my rating on that one as an 8 out of 10. It's only reason giving an 8 out of 10 on that one is because not that many people are into sports, so if you don't have a thing for sports, it may not stick to you as well, but it is one of those that I say is one of my personal favorites. And Insanity is one of those that I would also say is probably at an 8 out of 10. I have a very bad history myself of dealing with some mental stuff that's been going on in my mind, and how this kind of music really helps you go through that mental state of just saying this is something others go through as well, and that's why it helps you go through all those kind of thought processes. And of course, the very next song, called Silent, which reflects upon how you treat being treated a certain way, and how many people don't want to speak out as much as you think that they should, because staying in silence is sometimes a lot better than trying to express it and thinking that you might be a weirdo, you might be a creep or something like that. And it does give a good reflection on who he was, to avoid those kind of things, as well as giving people a representation to say it was okay to be like that. And for me, I give Silent actually a solid 9 out of 10. Very next one was one of the very first music videos he did for his lyric music videos, Punk Kids. And I like this one a lot too, because this one is a good reflection of who I was when I was younger. kind of a rebel. I always wore black clothes, always wore different things that was not the normal from everyone, but at the exact same time, I was just a person myself. It's not like I wasn't trying to not fit in or not try to be a part of everybody else's reason of wanting to join them, but I realized I liked too much different things, especially growing up in Hawaii. If I had appreciation for rock music, it doesn't really, stick with the kind of kids that were more into either like the Hawaiian music or the hip hop that was more popular at the time. For me, I love Punk Kids. Punk Kids to me is another one that I give a solid 10 out of 10. Awesome song. The next few songs I will reflect on as it reminds me of his one song Memories from his last EP Bling. And the first one off of this one is called Brand New City, which is him talking about when he was finally moving into a new place, was gonna have to be that new kid and be able to try and adapt to the place that he just moved to. And to me, that's something that kind of is sticking with me right now, because I did just leave Hawaii to be here with my wife, and I'm trying to adjust to being here as well, living a different cultured life and adjusting to how the way things are over here. So to me right now, I will give only Brand New City a 6 out of 10. It's not one of the ones that really sticks that well with me until it becomes more of a respectable in my heart, especially with the fact that I am moved here to the Philippines from Hawaii, and it probably will grow on me, most likely. So next one, also kind of just like how I mentioned, was he is now the new kid. And that's the name of this song, New Kid. So he is actually the kid that is trying to adjust to being in new schooling, new friends, new places that he has to actually expand himself out to be, and actually, try to fit in wherever he may be able to. This one, I love the flow. This one just has a nice, just up down flow, and it just has a good melody, and his style of singing just fits so well with this song. This song I actually give a good 8 out of 10, because it doesn't, again, reflect a lot to me. I was never really a new kid. I was just one of those weird kids that was put into a place that was surrounded by a whole bunch of people who were different than me. This here is the one that I just say, if I could give it 20 out of 10, I would give it 20 out of 10. One of my this is my favorite song off the album, called True Love. To a lot of people who understand my past and my past relationships, there's been a lot of hardships that I've gone through, a lot of heartbreaks. I've had restraining orders and like a whole bunch of weird things that have happened to me due to how overcome I've been on my love life. And that's why I have no reason to hide that, and why this song just sticks to me so much. The chorus is magical in my heart, and it reflects back to those hurtful moments that I've had to overcome over this last decade of the consistent heartbreaks from my high school sweetheart cheating on me and leaving me, people who've made me literally lose friends, lose family members who respected me in certain ways, and also just to overcome the fact that now that I am married and happy with my life, this is another song that just sticks to my heart purely. So again, my best and favorite song off the album. Next song, Devil's Eyes, which is actually kind of a reflection back to the previous song as well as a way that it uses its metaphorical terminologies for this song, which really is why I love this song too. A solid 9 out of 10 for Devil's Eyes. It reflects onto how others can see him, how others may project themselves to him, and how everything is just shared in a way that is never exactly the way you would ever expect it to be. And that's why this song to me is another great song. Of course, coming down to the last few songs now on the album, which of course is Broken, which actually was another song that was just released earlier, that he put out another lyrical music video, which reflects again on feeling broken, feeling, lost, but understanding that there are a whole bunch of people who do feel that way, who are like you, and why it is such a impactful thing to overcome those kind of sadnesses and overcome the hurt that comes with, losing a loved one that meant so much to you, and having your heart broken, and overcoming the thought that your mindset will never be exactly the same that it once was. And that's why to me Broken again is another solid 10 out of 10 song. And of course we're going to come down to the very last song, a song that I know is actually the most emotional song for We Skeem himself. I've been on some of his live streams. I've been on a lot of the, members only content, which you hear it in his voice. You hear how emotional he becomes with this song because it does reflect so much. The song called Flowers for Mom. It shares his side of what he used to do to allow himself to feel loved again from his own mom, where he would go out of his way to find flowers and give him to his mom, so that way he can be able to express that kind of love that was always a little bit hard for his parents to really be able to reflect and share to him. And again, a lot of this is my own personal experience of listening to this album, hearing what he had to share about the album. So there's a lot of things that I may be contradicting a little bit, and I may have gotten some of the information incorrect, but that's why all of this, as far as I'm concerned, give the credit to We Skeem, give the credit to the fact that he went out of his way to make this album, so that way we as human beings can be able to understand that everyone has something that they are trying to figure out, that they are trying to overcome, that they are trying to work out. And for me, I love this album. I highly recommend it. And if you don't even want to just, spend any money on the album itself, you can still listen to it on Spotify, or again, you can be able to actually just go on his YouTube channel, give him a subscription. He is looking to try and hit a certain mark by a certain time period right now, due to not necessarily threats, but just a challenge as far as I'm concerned on his side. So for me, I care very much for this guy. I care for his family. He has a baby that's going to be, coming up in a few months, I would say. Actually, I don't know exactly how far along they are for that, but that is all I want to share. Give this guy some love. Go watch his videos. Feel and experience the exact same experiences that I've been feeling watching this guy for the last couple of months. And thank you very much for listening. I am Cab, and I am here to drive you crazy. Aloha. God bless. Take care. And until next video, see ya.